Hello and welcome to the Daily Jerry Anderson podcast, where the presenter once again catches Mr. Coyle, who may not be giving all his attention to what's happening on the show. Here's a man who writes about your show. Hello?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I caught you.
Yes, you
I
did.
didn't mean to catch you like that.
Ken has provided us with new chairs.
Thank you, Ken. I saw your email. 5 new comfy chairs in the studio.
Yeah, but they're not the right length for me.
Are they not?
No, Emma says I have a long back.
Well, there's no need for it. I don't know. Does Ken not made allowances for
He was
that?
in looking at my toes.
Okay. A gentleman writes to me, a lady says, can't you eke out more than 10 minutes of coherence from a whole hour and a half? Take away what the fat boy says for the podcast. People talking about our podcast. For some of us, that's the only wee bit of home we get in the day. That's people listening abroad, hoping emotional blackmail will help. More please, say half an hour. A person wants us to extend our podcast. Go on, go on, go on. She's in Reading, which is hardly Peking, but then again, it almost sounds the same. Reading, Peking. P.S. Put the reply on the podcast, otherwise I'll never know. Is it not a fact, though, that people can listen to this programme in its entirety if they live in the United Kingdom? Isn't it true? iPlayer? Isn't that a fact? Isn't that the way it works? Don't you know that? Could you find out?
Emma's nodding.
Emma's nodding. Yeah, the only place you can't listen to the entire show on iPlayer is beyond the shores of the United Kingdom, beyond the Queen's remit. But you can't listen in France or anywhere like that. So that lady, go on to iPlayer, you can listen to this programme in its entirety. Dear Puppet Chin and wannabe traffic warden, that's us. Further to my lower rear torso, correspondent report a few days ago, I've intensified my observations, and you're quite correct, Jerry. The size of the average Belfast bum has considerably increased since the Troubles ceased. Notably, and to be serious for a microsecond, much more prevalent amongst young ladies. Well, this, of course, is a topic that requires some examination. Young ladies are eating a lot of crap. There were never that many big girls around when I was fit to chase them. Do you remember when you were at school?
Right.
Do you remember? No, seriously.
Right.
Do you remember when you were at school? Now, pick a year, pick a class that you were in, say secondary school.
Right.
Okay? Now, you're in there, and can you see all the boys around you?
Yes.
It was all boys, of course,
Yes.
no girls.
Yes.
Do you remember a fat person? Maybe one? In your class? Can you look around you in your mind's
No.
eye? You see, there weren't any fat people.
No.
And there weren't, because we never
Even when you started to work.
no, it's terrible, and I don't like talking about
You
this.
and I were thin people. We're still relatively thin.
Everybody
aren't we?
was thin, and the reason why they were thin is because they didn't eat crap. Because you didn't get
No,
any.
I was a
Kentucky Fried Chicken,
no,
McDonald's.
I feel sorry for my poor mother because I was the most pukey, panickety eater that ever lived.
Pukey pernickety.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You couldn't cook for me. You couldn't. I say I didn't like cabbage. I didn't like turnip.
And you're so tolerant now.
Any vegetables? Take those vegetables away from me. My mother.
That's why your legs have atrophied.
My mother. I'm going to tell you something.
Your legs have atrophied because of lack of vegetables.
I'm going to tell you something.
I can't say
now.
vegetables. Go ahead, tell me.
You've been making fun of my legs for more years than I care to remember.
I'm sorry. I apologise in retrospect.
I'm going to tell you something now that you don't know.
What?
And maybe you'll take a different look, a different viewpoint of my legs.
Did you have rickets when you were a child?
No, but...
What?
I never walked until I was 6. You see how sympathetic you are to me.
Why, how'd you know where to go?
No, I never... That's so... Why are you laughing? Why didn't you ask me what was... You see...
I'll ask you later what was wrong with you. I don't care. What was wrong with you? You're all right now. That's amazing. Your legs are funny looking.
6 before
No,
I
seriously,
walked.
your legs are funny looking. The medical mystery of Mr. Coyle deepens. What exactly is wrong with his Scotch pegs? Does he have 3? Are his knees on backwards? Does it matter?
I don't like talking about it. My
All right, you don't have to talk about it.
the family talk about it behind my back. My brothers and sisters, my older brothers and sisters talk about it.
Okay, talk about it now.
No, they
Go on,
don't
tell
talk
me.
to me about it.
Well, tell me about
They
your
don't
legs.
talk
Pretend
to
I'm
me.
not here.
I have found out.
What did you find out?
I found out about it. And I'm being serious about this.
I know
I'm
you've
not-
been
I'm not-
serious
I'm
about
not- I'm
this.
not- I'm not.
I know you've been serious
I
about this.
had a wee problem with my legs.
Had you?
Yeah.
Well,
and you laugh at me.
I know I laugh, but I can't help it.
Yeah.
But tell me this. What was wrong with your legs?
I don't know. I don't know, but I found things that I used to wear once under the stairs.
Yes?
and I found these things.
You mean seriously, like calipers?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Quite. No, not
No,
calipers.
I'm serious.
But
I'm not laughing now.
Things like that. Yeah.
Things like that?
Yeah.
Chastity belt?
Yeah, they were. Now you hurt me.
No, I'm not laughing now.
I'm
Not laughing now.
I'm all right now, so I don't.
I know.
mind.
That's why I'm laughing now,
don't
because I know
mind.
you're okay.
I'm all right.
It's just your legs are funny looking.
No, but I know nobody talks about it in our house.
I know, but I talk about it.
They talk about it behind my back. Nobody tells me what was wrong with me. That's true. This is true. I don't know.
Recent Oscar-winning father and daughter Terry and Orla George are back in the province with an Oscar for the recent film The Shore. The presenter is, of course, a friend of stars everywhere. I love one-to-one conversations, and particularly In the Name of the Father, which you wrote the script for. Do you remember the time when Daniel Day-Lewis, Jerry Conlon, was speaking to Giuseppe in the cell, and talking about when he was a kid?
Yeah, you know, the best line I ever wrote, and probably ever will write, is these chips aren't bad. I swear, when Giuseppe Conlon comes back in with the tray of like chips and beans and says to Daniel after getting life and 25 years, these chips aren't bad. It just summed up the whole spirit of Giuseppe Conlon, you know. Things couldn't be worse. And he can find some joy in life.
There has to be some positive to be taken out of this.
Yeah.
Mr. Coyle never misses an opportunity to undermine, criticise and say bad things about the presenter's broadcasting techniques. The presenter refuses to get annoyed. It would only encourage him.
I couldn't help but notice that before you found your rhythm there with that interview, you know, that's not a criticism. Everyone needs to get into a rhythm, into a line of question and train of thought. But when you started off, you were Roy Walker.
Was I really?
Yeah. Do you know what you said to him? Seriously.
What did I say?
The way you said it. I asked him about he says, did you get a chance to get out to Coyle? That's what you said. I said, listen to him in there, being Roy Walker. Did you get a chance to get out to Coyle?
I didn't know I'd been Roy
I know,
Walker.
you did.
I must have channeled him.
Hey,
did you get a chance to get down to Malak? Killock.
Killock.
Anyway, I can't do
and what's this here? What's another thing I picked up on that as well? Patch Connolly is a great friend of mine.
Yeah.
Well, come on.
Patch Connolly.
Tell me about this great friendship.
Patch Connolly, I met Patch Connolly many years ago. He's from Newry. He's an actor. And I think that if he's listening, he will ring up and confirm this.
Oh, but you're great friends. Great friend. That's what you said.
Good friends.
No, you said great friend. Patch Connolly's a great friend of mine.
Well, a great...
great friend.
No, well, I mean great. I mean, I admire him.
That's
a great
not
friend of mine.
been a great friend.
That's what I'm calling a great friend.
No, it's not.
I'm telling you what I mean.
You're not allowed to do that.
I'm not allowed to admire Patch Connolly?
No, you're not allowed to say he's a
Patch
great
Connolly.
friend.
Patch Connolly. And I can't remember his real name. I mean, his stage name in El Dorado. He first came to prominence in El Dorado. Quite unfortunate, because he's a very good actor, very respected actor. Yeah. And he was one of the main parts in El Dorado.
I don't think he had a main part.
He had
I don't think so. He had the main part.
Why must you question everything I say?
I don't think he had a main part in El Dorado.
He had.
Well, if you look at the credits of El Dorado, see if he's in. Go on. The main
Why don't you do it? I'm broadcasting.
But you've got a scoocher in there. You've got a thing.
I have a scoocher that I don't have to use. The BBC welcomes feedback on all its programmes, even such programmes where the poorly paid presenter toils away in an attic listening to his cassettes of Dave, Dee, Dozy, Beaky, Mick and indeed Titch. During the week I heard a listener from the far-flung regions beyond Derry City lament about the fact that he cannot receive Sean's Wee Show. In order to carry out a random act of kindness during Lent, I decided to tune in and provide a précis of said show for this gentleman. Here are my findings for the period 3:40 to 4 o'clock on Wednesday, the 7th of March. And bear in mind, this is only 20 minutes. 1. Sean is talking about cabbages and how he doesn't like them.
Yes, I talked about that this morning as well in
2.
this big show.
He plays a Shaking Stevens record, This Old House.
That was yesterday.
Wednesday, the 7th of March.
That's right.
I just said that.
Oh, sorry.
3. He talks about a pork shop that somebody in Derry, Stoke, Londonderry thinks may have been in Bishop Street.
Yes, that's true.
4. He thanks some people who have raised money for a worthwhile cause.
£18,000 they raised on one night for
5.
For a hospice. Yes.
Plays a song that goes die 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 whoa whoa. Says it is by the Tremolos.
That was a horrible song.
Die da die.
Oh,
Die da die 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 da die die da die die da die 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 da die die da die die. Is that it?
No.
Die die die.
Me and my arms are open wide.
Die da die. Die da die 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 die. See?
Zai.
The Nobel laureate Seamus Heaney continues to send in poems despite PSNI officers going round to Malachi Bond to ask him to cease and desist. The presenter continues to read them. It passes the time until talkback begins with Wendy. A passing remark, made in the dark, and caused the reminiscences to flood my brain. Like a well-maintained lock on a canal, Renaissance man, with staff in hand, standing idly by, no sir, hoping for a rendezvous with things I knew, locked in the mist of time. Ah, you can't get a decent turnip now, said a man to a friend, a colleague, or perhaps a relation from the same bloodline. Snedding turnips, aye, snedding turnips, great big round oval turnips, cattle food, and indeed peasant food, a great builder of bones, they say. A man who eats turnips will never grow lame. Do you hear that? That's what happened to you when you were wee. That's why you never walked until you were 6. You didn't eat turnips.
Go and give me that number again. 07757.
It's not funny how the tiny, minute, like a speck of soot, word can open up avenues in the complicated structure of the brain, the seat of the intellect in vertebrates. Accordions, say I. And already my brain has my foot tapping. It will not be caught napping. When it comes to computerize my thoughts unseen, but not unheard. I oft-times think, whilst sprawling in my bed, of getting deep inside my head, to view my brain cells as they labour to make me smarter than my neighbour. No false modesty in Seamus Heaney, who sometimes wears a little beanie. Of all the poets, I am the Tyson, hoovering up awards like a turbocharged Dyson. I will now tighten the traces and put my brain through its paces. Stand back, poet at work. Welded steel can build a tower. Red generator, you must have power. Who goes there? Be it friend or foe, Aborigine or Eskimo. Who's for pudding? A show of hands. He also serves who waits to stand. Barn rock, woolen sock, the captain's in the brig. Ring-a-rosies, a pocket full of posies. Achtung! A game of tig. The gods on Mount Olympus, the gods of ancient Rome. And who will speak of the ancient Greek but myself alone? The siege of Troy. Who could forget it? Cuchulainn, Maeve, all that crew. Go on ye, boy ye, Brian Boru. Hold up your heads and wag your tails, all them brilliant, amazing gales. So back to turnips, needing snedding. Labourers lie on straw bedding. Before they sleep, a stave or two of the turnip song I give to you. Sned, 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 keep your knife well honed. Sned, 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 turn off your mobile phones. Well, the old clock is on the wall, time to vamoose. So until the next time, it's Seamus Heaney saying, take her easy and keep the sock of your plough clean and keep her lit until I get out. Thank you for listening. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.